You're watching the Fox 28 Morning Show.
Thank you, Joe. It is 7:44, big day for kids. ISTEP, very, very stressful. So to help kids survive the next 2 weeks, certified school psychologist Renae Azziz is here with some great advice. Thanks for making the drive up from Indy. And
happy to.
we were lamenting over the commercial. We both have fourth graders who are a little anxious about this test.
Yes.
So let's kind of talk to the students out there who are getting ready to get on the bus on, and exactly, because I know 12 hours down to 9. That is a long time.
Still a long time.
Yeah, and it can stress kids out. So let's kind of talk about, you have some steps here to kind of breathe easy.
Right. Well, if we're talking to the kids on the bus, let's first tell them they're gonna do great. They're prepared, but it's okay to be feeling anxious. That's a normal emotion, and so we want to validate for them that they're going to be just fine during this process. And it's important for them to really work on today and throughout this testing season, just calming themselves. And I think that's something really important that we can talk to our kids about. So when you're taking the test, we want them to be visualizing something that's calming for them, right? We want them to give themselves a positive pep talk, since we as parents won't be there to do that for them. But even using some deep breathing techniques is really important during the testing time. So when you're feeling a little anxious, you could do something called the 4 square breathing technique. Ready?
Now you're throwing more mouth on me. All right, where we go?
Pretty easy. So you just breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4, and in for 4 again, right? So just 4 square. You're making a square. You're visualizing that square, and for kids that's really helpful. In for 4, hold. Out for 4, hold. Right?
So
and start it again.
Is that something, because I know when you're sitting down, and whether it's paper and pencil at the computer, and they're going to get that question, and it is going to, they're going to forget it. So is that one of the techniques? And what are some other things they can do as kids, as you're sitting there and like, I don't know, should I skip this? Should I move on? Should I pick C? Is it 5? You know, what should you do?
Well, first of all, know that they're prepared, right? Their teachers have been working with them all year long, and so they know what they know. And this test is just a snapshot, right? It doesn't tell everything about what you know, what you don't know. It's just a snapshot. And sometimes we can get in the situation where we don't know. So do your best, and as you say,
forget the rest, right? Do your best, forget your rest.
Exactly.
And as kids are getting ready to run out of the house, they probably need to eat something a little more than just like a little granola bar.
Right. Make sure that you're eating a healthy breakfast, that you're getting plenty of sleep at home the night before. And as parents, I think one thing we really want to do in this course of the testing season is make sure that our space at home is very calming. So at night, we want it to be a calm experience for children. When they get up in the morning ready for the bus, we want to let them know that we're encouraging them. We know they're going to do well. And
how much, I mean, probably a little more sleep, being well rested, probably going to help kids. So instead of staying up late, would you recommend maybe them going to bed a little earlier? Right.
The most typical thing we say is go to bed. Try to go to bed 15, 30 minutes ahead of schedule, because that's actually one of the symptoms that kids might be experiencing anxiety. There might be changes in their sleep patterns. So if I go to bed on time and I'm not able to fall asleep as quickly, I might wake up a little more feeling less rested, right? So going to bed a little earlier is important as well. There are many other signs of anxiety that we can talk to parents about.
Yeah, I'll tell you what we're going to do is Renae's going to stick around, and parents, we're going to talk to you when we come back here soon about things you can do, because I know when your fourth grader comes home today, mine comes, they're going to talk all about the test, right? So we're going to talk about how you can talk to your kids and what you can do to help them do a little better over the next 2 weeks. So we'll be back with you soon. Thanks so much for coming in. Some great advice this morning, Renae.
Sure.
Well, kids are going to get off that bus today. They're going to be talking all about the ISTEP tests, and parents, you can actually help them deal with stress when they bring it home. Certified school psychologist Renae Azziz is here with advice for moms, dads, and caregivers. Thank you once again for being here. So, all right, we're going to be at home. Our fourth graders are getting off the bus and say, I had the ISTEP today. So they're going to be kind of riled up here. So what is the best way to just kind of, I don't want to say talk them down, but kind of just talk about it?
Right. So the very first thing is to let them talk about it. Let's not have them get off the bus and be like, so tell me all about it. How did it go? Just let them naturally introduce the experience that they had. And as they talk about it, they might say, oh, I don't know if I did so well. They might show some anxiety. In those cases, just talk them through that using how questions versus why. Why do you feel that way? Did you use your scratch paper? Did you read the bold letters? Let's not like question question in that way, that creates more anxiety. So you really just want to have them share their story and then help them problem solve. Well, how will you handle it tomorrow? What will we do differently tomorrow? Did you use your relaxation strategies? So those are the kind of things that we want to be talking to them about when they get off the bus.
And a viewer posed an interesting question not too long ago, is what is it about the ISTEP? Because, you know, kids have quizzes and tests every day. So what is it about this test that kind of riles the nerves?
Great question. So what I really believe is that a lot of it has to do with the behavior of the adults around this test. So our children are watching us all the time. So imagine how many stories you've done this year on ISTEP, right? So our children are listening to it on the news. They hear us talking about it as parents at home. But then every day they go to school, it's like 5 more days to ISTEP, 4 more days. And so we create more anxiety around the test. And that just makes it its way to our students. And so we should really avoid being overly critical about the process so that we don't produce more anxiety in our children.
And let's talk about when it comes to mealtime for dinner and breakfast, what mom, dads, and caregivers should be preparing and helping out. Because you know you need brain fuel.
Right. So lots of protein, you know, lots of carbohydrates, things that are going to give them energy is really important. And those are kind of some of the basics. We know we're supposed to be making sure that they get, you know, healthy food and sleep well. The other things I think are really important for us as parents to focus on though is what are the signs of anxiety. There might not, there might be folks that don't have children like ours that'll say, I'm stressed out, like help me through this. And so instead parents need to really be thinking about symptoms. So those can be changes in thoughts. Our kids might have more difficulty concentrating at home. I'm talking about not related to school even. You might find them forgetful. They might be a little more cranky or irritable. They might seem sad. But it can also be physical symptoms that can be signs of anxiety. So they might have appetite changes. That I mentioned earlier, they might have differences in their sleep patterns, or like I remember my daughter was having actual heart. Yeah, she felt like her heart was racing. So physical symptoms can also be signs of anxiety that we need to watch for. They won't always tell us.
I'll tell you some great tips. We have all this posted for you on fox28.com. Have great conversations. I hope your daughter does excellent.
And I'm sure yours will as well.
Okay. Well, we won't get together and compare notes. We'll just help them.
No.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for making the drive up. We appreciate it.